Welcome back to another episode of the Live Your Yes Life podcast by Rise Leadership Circle. I'm Lisa. I'm one of the co-founders here, and this is all about sharing our channeled thoughts, some discussion, some interviews, and really going deep on what it takes to go from dreaming and wishing to actively living your yes life. I have a really good episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking all about the wise guidance that you might be ignoring. So let's go ahead and jump in. I came up with this topic today based on some conversations and some discussion I've been having in the DMs on Instagram and on Facebook with some of you who are listeners, which first off, I have to tell you how much it fills my heart and soul when you message me and say, hey, I listened to this episode and this is what I got out of it, or this is what happened after I implemented. We started this podcast a couple of months ago, really, definitely not on a whim. I mean, we had intention behind it, which our intention is to really come here and share value and discussion and help you to live your yes life. But we did it without the big fancy launch, and we've really just kind of grabbed a microphone, got some equipment, and started recording, knowing that over time, we're going to start to build this out to what we want it to be. But more and more, I'm starting to receive messages from you guys saying that, something we're sharing is touching you, it's making a difference, and it fills my soul. So if you hear anything that does inspire you, please do reach out. Let Kaela and I know. It means everything to us. But all that aside, so in some of the conversations as we've been talking, there's been something that's been really, I've been noticing is making a difference for you. And I want to go even deeper on that today. And this is all about the wise guidance that you might be ignoring. So what if pursuing your yes life, and that really means pursuing your biggest dreams, the things that you really, truly want, are actually wise guidance from your soul, from the universe, whatever you want to say, from source, God, whatever you believe, right? What if it's actually causing you to become more of who you really are? This is what I'm noticing in some of our conversations is you're starting to really own what you desire, own what you want unapologetically, and not just own it, but take those active steps to go for it. You're starting to see manifestations happen instantly. You're starting to see connections and collaborations and just to feel different in your life, taking those bold, courageous actions. And so I wanted to talk deeper on this idea that when you have a desire, and I'm talking about like the big D desire, those things that you just really crave at a soul level, it's actually causing you to become more of who you're meant to be in this lifetime. So my belief is that we all come here to learn lessons. We go through soul lessons and soul assignments, and part of the way that we receive this guidance from our soul or from our higher self is through our desires. We've talked about this before, right? So part of the way that it guides us is by what lights us up, what fulfills us, what makes us happy. And that's why it's so important to pay attention to the things that really bring you a lot of joy in your life. It's one of the reasons we talk about pursuing more joy and cultivating joy in your life. So it doesn't mean that every single thing on the way to reaching your desires is going to be rainbows and daisies. It actually means you're going to hit some roadblocks. You're going to hit some challenges. You're going to hit some bumps in the road on the way to get there. And those things are actually causing you to become more of who you really are. It's helping you learn lessons maybe you need to learn. It's helping you heal, and it's helping you grow in ways that maybe you didn't even know you needed to grow or you were ready to grow. So it's really important that you're paying attention. So one of the problems I see with this, or I hear with this a lot, is that we tend to delay our desires for a time when it feels easier, right? We hold this belief of like, okay, well, it's selfish for me to want what I want, and I am going to wait until the time is right or the time is perfect. And what ends up happening is life just keeps going, right? It doesn't slow down. And so you end up putting off your dream or your desires until later and later and later. And then that someday never comes. And I don't want that to happen for you. I'm definitely seeing a shift with the younger generation. I feel like my generation, those of you who are listening that are around my age can probably relate to this. But I felt like the message that I received as a woman, as a mom, was to put everyone and everything else first. And when there was time, then to pursue what I wanted. And I think it's shifted. I mean, I definitely see the generation coming up unapologetically pursuing what they want. But even so, even for you guys who are younger, you still have societal pressures. You have just a different set of challenges than we had, but you all still have challenges that you're working on and that you're overcoming. And I think this is a message that's true no matter where you fall in the age bracket, because there is still this underlying belief that you should feel guilty about pursuing desires. Maybe you've questioned yourself, like, can I really want this? Is it really okay to want to have $1 million or a multi-million-dollar lifestyle? Maybe what you want is not wealth, but it's something completely different. And you might still be questioning, is it okay for me to want this? It feels selfish when there's so much else in the world that needs money, or that needs my attention, or maybe I should be pouring my time and attention into someone else. And on the flip side of that too, there's this conversation about feeling guilty for wanting what you want. I feel like for millennia, this has been a message for women that you should feel guilty about wanting your desires. And this can be anything from desiring a piece of cake to desiring to have a relationship outside of marriage, to, I don't know, any number of things that you might be desiring that you've been told you should feel guilty for is wrong or bad. I'm not here to argue anyone's personal belief systems. We are a very inclusive community. We have all different faiths in our community. We honor all beliefs. I'm just talking about this underlying societal messaging of feeling guilty for wanting what you want. And, from something as simple as a piece of chocolate cake and like saying the words to yourself, oh, I feel so guilty for eating that, to like your big D desires, which is things like desiring to, have the career of your dreams, desiring to have a family and a child, whatever it is that you are desiring, it's all the same. You should want what you want simply because you want it, period. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to ask permission for it. If it's on your heart, if you like your reasons for wanting it, that is enough. It doesn't need to be justified with anything more than that. So if you want something completely frivolous and you want it because you want it, amazing. So I think it's really important, and this is why. Because if you have a desire for something that lights you up, it truly is designed for you. It's designed to grow you. It is designed to help you become a different version of yourself. Whether or not you ever actually achieve what it is, by paying attention, by pursuing, by going after what you want, you're being guided by your soul. And the reason I say this is often wisdom that we ignore is simply because of what I was just saying. We feel guilty for it. We feel like it's not okay to ask for what we want, or we feel like it's selfish to desire what we want. But if you're someone who's continually putting your needs and wants on the back burner, whether they're small, whether they're big, you're missing out on that guidance from your soul. And I want you to start to tune in to this is actually one of the ways that your intuition is guiding you right now. So instead of tuning it out or pushing it off to the side or waiting, what if you start to really bring it to the forefront and you make it a priority in your life right now? So I want to share with you a story of how I really saw this start to work in my life early on. You guys know I've shared a little bit about my healing journey here. And at one point in time, many years ago, I had a desire to become healthy. I had a desire to heal from chronic fatigue and some chronic health issues that I was having. And as I pursued that desire, meaning I started to get support and research and get help and change my lifestyle and, do all the things that came along with pursuing that desire, what I discovered was that it really led me back to coaching. I had already had my certificate as a life coach. I hadn't been really using it at the time. And I had such a desire to help other people on the journey that I was on, to help them get healthy, to overcome what they were working on. And it led me to pursuing my health coach certificate. which then led me to some advanced and mastery trainings. Kaela came and did some of those programs with me. I eventually was health coaching all entrepreneurs and I was life coaching them. That is just the progression to where I am now was seamless. It was like all I had to do was follow the breadcrumbs. And I'm not health coaching now, although I'm still helping my clients have better health and pursue beautiful well-being. If I had not listened to that soul nudge, that desire to look at health coaching, look at that desire to help other people get healthy, I would not be where I am doing the soul work that I am today. And this work lights me up so much. It truly is the work that I know I was meant to do. So sometimes, when we start to follow those desires, even though they might seem small or it may not be leading you to the be all end all of what it is, the way that our soul or the way the universe often works with us is through synchronicities, through these beautiful strands and breadcrumbs that it drops along the way. But if we are in the habit of ignoring what lights us up, of putting ourselves on the back burner, we're missing out on all this guidance. And I don't want that to happen for you. So ask yourself right now, what is one thing that you want that you have not paid attention to, that you haven't been listening to, you haven't brought to the forefront so you could start making it a reality? Send me a message and let me know what that is. I would love to hear. I also would love for you to be curious about pursuing that desire and how that actually connects you back to a greater part of yourself. It connects you back to your personal power, back to this heart-centered place that has the power to change so much in your life, even if it's seemingly small. I had a conversation this morning with someone in our community who sent me a message. And she was telling me about all the things that are opening up for her in the form of synchronicities. So she was telling me how, so she's in the circle, she's in our year-long coaching program, and she's been doing some work around creating some identity shifts in her life and just really deepening into this work of pursuing her desires, living her yes life. And she said that what's been happening for her is she's been manifesting so many amazing conversations, connections, collaborations. She's been invited to participate in things that are just these soul level connections. And her message to me was like, I can't believe how amazing this is. And it's almost disorienting. It's happening so fast. And I assured her this was totally normal. Is like when we're experiencing rapid change, even if it's good change, right? It's becoming more of who we want to be. It takes our physical body a little bit to catch up. There's a little bit of collaboration that has to happen if you're doing it right, because it really does. When we start to pursue who we're meant to be, it requires big change. It requires you to sometimes change everything. And I don't mix words about this. I am never going to give you the message that pursuing your greatest desires is going to be all rainbows and daisies and that it's going to be like nothing but ease and flow and sunshine and butterflies. It will be that, but it will also be really deep and sometimes hard. And the things that are meant to heal within you will get shaken up to the surface. Your limiting beliefs, you're going to see right in front of your face, whether you want to see them or not. It's going to ask you to overcome. It's going to show you what's ready to be upgraded and healed. And if you're willing to be on this path, it means you'll be willing to create the real change where you need to create it. And that is when it gets magical, because I believe that we are designed to have the things that we want, and not just the things, because honestly, for me, this conversation really isn't about things. We desire things, we desire cars and houses and money, but those things in and of themselves are not necessarily fulfilling. I feel like those things are the icing on the cake. What I really desire for you is to have the experiences, the relationships, the soul level connections, the ability to fall in love with every single area of your life, to fall in love with a sunset, to fall in love with maybe a book of poetry if that's your jam, or to, start to relish deep soul level conversations and connections with the people who are in your life. To fall in love with being the creator of your life, whatever that means for you. It's really about so much more than just pursuing things, although these things sometimes can also be that guidance that we need. So Trust the path. Trust the things that light you up, that make you happy. Notice also why you want what you want. If it's coming from a place of comparison, if it's coming from a place of like, you want something in your life and you want it so that you can finally feel good enough, or because you're comparing yourself to someone else and feeling like you should want what they want, if you really get still and you really get quiet within yourself, you're going to know whether that is truly a soul level desire for you or whether it's something different. And so it's okay to want what you want. It's okay to notice that actually this thing that I've been pursuing doesn't fulfill me. It truly doesn't light me up, and actually it's something else. I think that that's also sometimes part of the sifting and the sorting that we go through on the way to clarity. So I wanted to just close this today by inviting you to take a little bit of time to tune in, connect with yourself, make that space. And if there is something that you have been putting off, bring it to the forefront, bring it back to life, start taking steps to create whatever that is in your life that you're wanting to have. And send me a message and let me know what that is. Let me help you hold that vision. Okay, you guys, if you're wanting to create some space to do this, I have something really incredible for you that's happening the first 2 weeks in December. So at the time of this recording, it is November 2023. The first 2 weeks in December, we're going to be offering an immersion experience at Rise that you have an opportunity to jump in and join us for. And this immersion is really something that I'm excited to bring forward. It's the first time we're offering it. It's called Within, and it's all about creating peace and joy in your life now. So as we step into the holiday season, this window between Thanksgiving and Christmas, this tends to be one of the busiest, one of the most stressful times of the year, particularly for women. We are doing all the things, we're planning all the things, we're wearing all the hats. For some people, this is a really joyful time of year. You thrive on all of this activity. For some of you, it's really stressful, and maybe you've had loss, or maybe you're navigating this year, alone for the first time. I mean, we all have all different experiences, and it's okay if you have the full range of experiences. So no matter what the holiday season feels like for you as you feel into it, I want to invite you to join us for Within. This 2-week program is all about helping you cultivate this sense of peace and cultivating a sense of true joy over the holiday season that gives you this really beautiful ground to create from as you're busy, as you're doing all the things. It's an opportunity to truly do just that, to go within, to help you see where your soul is actually guiding you to be in this moment, to help you truly have a peaceful holiday season, no matter how busy you are. If you want to join us for this, it's an immersion experience. Our immersions are really designed to be a coaching experience where you integrate the work into your life in real time. So it's not about just coming and getting a bunch of knowledge. It's actually about coming and integrating, taking those small daily actions and those daily steps to, in this case, cultivate that sense of peace and joy within. So if you want to join us, I'm going to link it below. You can actually click the link and join us for this 2-week experience. If you have questions, definitely send myself or Kaela a message. You can find us in the DMs on Facebook, on Instagram, either our personal profiles or the Rise Leadership Circle page, and we'll be sure to get back to you. Okay, thanks so much for joining me for this episode. As always, please like and share if this was meaningful for you, and we'll see you next time.